Et salut tout le monde, la nouvelle version de Genshin Impact est sortie et avec elle, la nouvelle quête archon Intermède, Genèse inversée. Donc on va y aller tout de suite, accéder à la quête. Je vous cache pas que les dernières quêtes là, je les ai entre guillemets speedrun et tout parce que j'avais pas joué. Gros, c'était tellement long, j'espère que ça va pas être aussi long parce que c'était sans fin, les dialogues et tout c'était sans fin. Heureusement il y avait quand même quelques cinématiques qui avaient été cool, mais putain, je crois que ça durait pas aussi longtemps ceux d'avant. Donc là on va voir. Bah écoutez, voilà, on est déjà à l'endroit qu'il faut, hop, on va juste prendre un autre TP et on va partir tout de suite dans cette aventure. Par quoi on commence?
Serious suggestions, please. I'm not trying to write a thriller here. It's supposed to be an essay, you understand? An essay. That means facts and logic.
Well, if it's facts and logic you're after, you shot yourself in the foot with your choice of research topic, didn't you? The tatarasuna mystery. When so much remains unexplained, there's little to be objective about. Unless, of course, you restrict yourself to textual criticism.
Yeah, well, this is my teacher's area of research. I can't change that. But it's fascinating enough without having to sensationalize it, don't you think? The strange location, the missing details, a mysterious person. I want to write my essay on something interesting, and I'm interested in getting to the bottom of all this. That's the only reason I came to you.
Yes, you came to me, so all the more reason to take my advice. The fact is, it's the dramatization that will make people want to read it. There's no getting around that.
Ok, la mise en scène. J'arrive pas à comprendre s'il écrit un roman ou si on lui a donné un roman.
Did one of them just mention tatarasuna? But that's all the way in Inazuma. Is it just Paimon or is it kinda unusual for someone in Sumeru to want to write a paper about
oui, c'est Inazuma, ok.
Everyone here is just going about their business. But great, let's go find out what this tatarasuna mystery is all about.
Ok. Acte 3, intermède d'acte 3, c'est parti. C'est parti et on entame sur un mec qui veut écrire un roman ou un truc comme ça.
Alright, I guess I'll go with my textual criticism and your editorial direction for the first draft. I have a feeling that the missing Kabuki mono will end up being the main focus of this paper. Ugh, if only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about him, this seems like the kind of thing he'd know about.
Quand on parle du loup.
Oh, you're the traveler, you say?
Eh oui, c'est nous.
Hey, what's with that face?
Il nous croit pas.
Don't believe us?
No, of course I believe you. Actually, I first heard about your great exploits when I was still in Inazuma. This is my first time coming face to face with you and your mysterious silver-haired companion. I couldn't believe my luck.
On a fait que
and out
des
of force of
exploits.
habit, I started, examining the evidence. Sorry.
So what, for the love of... Sorry, we don't get out much, so our social skills are kinda lacking.
Ok, c'était Covid. Il restait chez eux.
Traveler, I hear you've helped many people a great deal and been to many places. Would you be able to tell us about Tatarasuna?
Actually, we don't know much about that place either. In fact, we only came over here because
we heard you talking
about it and wanted to
en
learn
quête de
more.
Tatarasuna.
I see. My teacher chose this area of research as a personal challenge. He said it's difficult to get into because even Inazumans don't know much about Tatarasuna.
If you don't mind, I'd love to show you all my outline for the book I'm writing about Tatarasuna.
Hold on, Sawada. Don't you think that's a bit of a deep dive for a first read?
Well, fair point. In that case, please ease yourselves in gently by taking a look at Akaba's latest essay draft.
Let me give you some background. This all started with the discovery of some records in Tatarasuna. The writings mention someone by the name of Mikoshi Nagamasa, who crafted it, but in the end, he threw it into a fire to destroy it, and killed his servant Katsuragi. Why? Well, no one knows. Apart from the swordmaker, his servant, and the one who wrote this all down, the records also mention a kabuki mono. This seems to...
That's right. Akaba's teacher has spent quite some time researching these events on the ground. This Kabukimono lived in Tatarasuna for a while before disappearing without a trace. And shortly afterwards, as Akaba meant...
So first this strange person goes missing, then a murder happens?
Ouais, c'est louche. Il y a un crime, le mec qui s'est barré.
Yes, my thoughts exactly. So I helped out too. I asked everyone I could think of if they knew anything about what happened back then. And wow! Did I get lucky!
Stop shouting!
Putain, il est en colère, le coco, là.
I just wanted to make it stand out. It just so happens that a friend of mine works at the government records office. He looked into it for me, and I can now confirm that all the aforementioned individuals did, in fact, live in Inazuma over 400 years ago.
Putain, il est motivé, il a des preuves solides.
Already at the center of Inazuma's smelting industry. The man in charge was a government official named Niwa.
Serait-ce...
So there are two missing people in this story now?
Ah merde.
That's right! What's more, Niwa is a name with a lot of history to it. Have you ever heard of the great swordsmith clans of Inazuma?
Oh,
Ah oui,
the
oui, on connaît ça.
Yeah, like Ishin
La
Arch and
Richine.
so on?
Ah ouais, on a eu une quête avec ça.
Wow, yes. You really know your stuff. That makes things easier. So basically, this Niwa was a distant relative of the Kaidahara clan, the last practitioners of Ishin art. Something then seems to have happened in the Kaidahara clan, leading to their downfall. I don't know the details, but taken in light of everything else going on around that time, it makes you wonder whether it's all connected.
The Kaidahara clan?
Voilà, le clan Kaidahara.
You left out the biggest detail of all.
Oh, yes, of course. How could I forget? Brace your minds, ladies and gents, for they are about to be blown. Or maybe you won't believe your ears. I wouldn't blame you, of course.
Okay.
Because in all my years as a writer, this is by far the most.
Get to the point, for Pete's sake.
According to information acquired by Akaba's teacher, the
Est-ce qu'il vient de sortir un truc
Kabukimono
de
was
fou?
not a human, but a puppet.
Ah mais ça on a vu ça, enfin on connaît.
Puppet?
La marionnette de la Shogun, voilà. Ah ouais, la Shogun elle avait une marionnette. Scaramouche.
Aha! Judging by the looks on your faces, you...
Eh ouais.
No,
Enfin
mine
non.
just meant, how creepy. The way you described it makes it sound like a ghost story.
I agree, it does. But considering that non-human races in Inazuma are by no means uncommon, spooky events are to be expected. And
C'est vrai qu'il y a plein de trucs à Inazuma. Wow. C'est long. C'est long de fou. Et je vous laisse essayer de mettre pause hein, si vous voulez lire. Mais c'est long de fou. Je vous avoue que là j'ai pas le courage. Ok.
Oh, and please read my essay draft as well.
Ah mais c'est sa thèse. Ouais. Wow, le brouillon de la thèse. Ah non mais c'est bon. Franchement, c'est peut-être intéressant ouais. Pour l'histoire et tout mais... Il y a vraiment beaucoup de choses. Ou alors c'est du charabia et ça sert à rien. Possible aussi. Mais je pense pas. Allez hop.
Sawada was encouraging me to follow his more creative approach, but I think essays should be grounded in facts. I don't think explaining everything away with mysterious forces will cut it. Oh,
Ouais, lui il veut des faits, il
how
veut des
about
trucs
if I
concrets.
plug the holes in Sawada's narrative with political intrigue? Like, I could put a turf war between rival factions at the center of the whole series of...
Wait, you're allowed to just make stuff up? Pretty sure you've gone from essay to guessay there.
Akaba, look, your teacher has researched this extensively. I've reached out to everyone I could think of. Whatever information we have now is all that there is to know. This is as much detail as you're ever going
Lui
to
il garde
get.
ses trucs.
Besides, if there really was a political power struggle going on at anything like the level you seem to be suggesting, what hope would we ever have of finding out the truth?
Good point. Okay, back to the drawing board, I guess. Give me some time. I need to find a new angle on this.
We have some other stuff to do, so we'll have to say goodbye.
Vas-y, ciao.
All right, thank you. If you find out any more info about all this, please do let me know. Thanks so much.
Mais de rien. Ok. Alors c'est quoi la suite? Du coup, toujours Scaramouche.
Okay, then even if we did know something about it, we probably couldn't share it with them, huh? After all, we kicked his butt and got him locked up. Information about people like that is usually super confidential, isn't it? If you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many essay topics as there are trees in the forest. There's no point in...
Est-ce que nous, on va changer? Oh, what? Qu'est-ce qu'il fait là? Attends, c'est lui?
Hey, did you see that? He literally just went by, over there. It looked like...
C'était Scaramouche. Ah oui, c'est bien lui.
Balladeer! No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick,
C'est pas vraiment lui, c'est une illusion. Non. Suivez la silhouette. La silhouette ou bien la marionnette? Qu'est-ce qu'on suit exactement? Là, il est rentré dans le sanctuaire? Ou alors il a sauté? Ah, mais c'est Nahida. Ah non, il y a vraiment Scaramouche. Qu'est-ce qu'ils font?
Traveler, Paimon, there you are. Nahida! Bad news. We just saw the balladeer strolling around in public. Did he escape or... Ah! It's him!
Mais qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Sure enough, you're here.
Hey! What are you doing in the sanctuary of Surastana? Aren't you supposed to be locked up? I know you must have a lot of questions. Please.
Ok, est-ce que c'est un gentil au final?
It was my idea to set the balladeer free. We made a deal, and he's gonna do some investigation in Irminsul for me. A deal? Huh. You sure you trust this guy?
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumeru would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you can think about. But if that's the case, why haven't you done it already?
Parce qu'on peut pas, t'es trop fort.
Nahida said there's still some mysteries in you to figure out.
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I had you all wrong. There I was thinking you were just getting cold feet.
Ok.
Well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start. But Paimon's worried about you, Nahida. Don't let him trick you.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment. Just when you think you've seen it all.
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between us! As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal. Even with the balladeer.
Well,
ok, mais est-ce qu'il est honnête au moins? Moi, je pense.
Considering you even struck a deal.
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information. You'll come to understand more about that in the fullness of time.
On va acheter...
The balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. That puts
ouais,
him
il est en vrai, il est faible. Il a pas
son
gros truc, là, son gros guerrier, son gros machin.
He's a former harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck, depending on how the Fatui plan to respond. Wait a second. Farmer? You mean he's not a harbinger anymore?
Bah non, maintenant il est gentil.
In saying this, but it seems as if the doctor had no intention of welcoming back a loser, so...
Ah oui, ok, j'ai compris.
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way. Certainly all the stable ones are. That's how it was between me and the Fatui. And also between each of the harbingers. Okay. So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after recent events, even I have to admit that I'm not worth quite what I used to be. Well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate my utility, I need to have a backup plan for myself.
Sinon tu vas pas chez les Fatui.
I don't like
causing harm to living beings, and you said you need protection. So, why not join forces with us?
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear, don't you? And they're your friends, so I guess you'll be siding with them.
Yeah, obviously!
Mais
Nahida,
non,
don't listen to him!
c'est une archon, elle va
And
pas nous
let's put
écouter.
that discussion to the side for now. We still have time. Today can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how well we manage to cooperate today.
All right,
Ok.
then I'll do what we agreed.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch.
Ok, on reste au bout du fil.
Are you...
Yes. I have my reasons for this decision. In fact, yes. As I told you once before, there's information about
oui,
your
c'est
twin
vrai.
in irminsul.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the whole reason we came to see you today. So, you have an update on that?
Ouais, elle a des traces de notre sœur en vrai.
You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui had not included your twin's details in the Descender category. This is an extremely important point.
Ok.
It's possible that the Fatui have other information that even I don't know about. And since the balladeer used to be one of them, he'll be better acquainted with this information than I am. He was granted the
En fait,
power
faut
to
gratter
connect
l'amitié à
with
Scaramouche,
Irminsul
du
when
coup.
he almost became the god of a new era. Even though he no longer has the Gnosis, the amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. Sifting through all of it without knowing what to look for would take too long, even for me. So I asked the balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders. He's more familiar with this kind of information, and should be able to find it more quickly.
Et s'il se joue de vous, c'est vrai ça?
What if... Paimon just doesn't trust him.
I understand.
C'est vrai qu'il
But
a quand même...
sometimes,
souvent il nous a fait
everything is
chier quand
dictated
même.
by
Hein.
which side you're on. How things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. Our minds have connected several times before. There is a corner of your heart reserved for an intense longing. A feeling of being all alone in the dark, searching for the one candle whose light still burns. As Sumeru's deity, it is my responsibility to be on guard against the balladeer. But as someone who counts you as a friend, I want to do something for you. If this deal with
Ok,
the
mais en vrai on la
balladeer
connaît
can
pas
give
depuis si
you the
longtemps.
answers you've been longing to find, then it's worth it. It's my pleasure, really. You're Sumeru's hero. You've more than earned it.
Paimon's still worried about this idea. Is there anything we...
I was going to contact you about that, but then you suddenly showed up on your own accord. Seems like we have a telepathic connection. In fact, I was going to
Ouais,
ask you to
c'est le destin.
supervise the balladeer on my behalf while he carries out the task I assigned. Even though he only has a fraction of his full power left, that's still a fraction of a former harbinger. Of course, I'll be there to help guide you through Irminsul from the outside. Great.
Ok, donc là on va surveiller Scaramouche.
I'm going to transport you into Irminsul.
Dans l'Irminsul.
Wow. It looks pretty different here compared to last time.
Parler à Scaramouche.
The colors are gentler. Guess that must be because
Il est là.
Sumeru's at peace.
En vrai il est sympa.
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company. Oh,
Shut your beak, jailbird. No way a prisoner gets to be so smug.
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards. But right now, I'm on temporary release. So maybe you should think about backing
Regarde
off a
sa
little.
promenade. Genre il a des
Sounds
heures de
like a
promenade.
successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments,
Pourquoi
you'll
il
be
saigne et tout?
entering into the innermost region of Irminsul. It is an environment like no other, and the most important place in all of Sumeru. Unlike anywhere else, Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of torrents of information. You must put aside your differences and be extremely careful as you navigate your way through.
Éliminer
I know
tout ce
there
qui est
are
inutile,
many
on va se battre?
grievances between you on
Non, non,
both
pas du tout, je
sides, but it is essential that you remain calm after entry.
Là c'est
This is
vraiment
as
au
much for
contraire.
your own
Faut qu'on
safety
soit
as
potes quoi.
anything else.
Ok.
Fine. Let's call it truce.
Faisons une
But only
trêve.
until this mission's over.
C'est bon.
Let's
On fait
cut
un
each other a
effort.
little slack, shall we? We are going to be traveling together after
C'est bon,
all.
on a compris.
Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in our path. All you have to do is keep...
Il va falloir lui sauver les fesses à un moment,
confident.
c'est sûr.
Paimon will give you that. You make it sound like you're even more experienced.
If there are no further objections, I suggest we get going. Or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ew! Ugh, the snark on this gut.
C'est un petit con, c'est un petit con.
We can start now.
Faut pas faire attention à ses remarques.
Irminsul access granted. Initiating connection procedure.
Is this a small sapling?
C'est mignon.
Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him.
Il est parti là-dedans? Il s'est fait TP? Sûrement.
Wow.
Ok.
So this is the inside of Irminsul. Ooh. Paimon's never seen anything like this. And it feels like a sacred place.
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Tevat. Every bit of information flowing here means something. Pick your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite of everything he says?
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now proceed to the heart of Irminsul.
Ok,
Can
on
you
va se
still
diriger vers le
sense where
cœur.
the heart of Irminsul is?
Yes. Permission to begin searching for information there?
Permission granted. Go ahead.
Let's go. Stay close. Don't go running off.
Hey,
Il va y avoir
so
des petites couilles quand même.
we did go running off in here. Well,
Pour ça, tu vas pas te perdre au niveau aux alentours.
what
Y a
are
pas de
you
mur en
smirking
Paimon.
at?
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got lost. Anything's possible in here. You can't rule anything out. So if you want to stay safe, your best option is to stick close to me.
Ok, excuse-nous, grand frère. C'est quoi ça? Faut foncer dedans ou pas?
These sapling things have spread out.
Continuez d'explorer.
Those are
Okay.
all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
Et ouais, en fait, ça nous TP. Avant, on était là-bas, je pense. Je sais pas si c'est une bonne chose.
It looks the same in every direction.
Bon, sûrement que si. Sûrement que si, j'ai rien vu d'autre.
No wonder he mentioned about getting lost.
Mais attends, bon, on s'approche ou pas au moins?
What do you know? He was actually telling the truth. Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little?
Ok. On a marché jusqu'à l'arbre.
We're here.
What a huge tree!
C'est vrai qu'il est plutôt gros.
Lesser Lord Kusanali,
Good, you made it. Are you ready?
ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents.
Au flot de conscience. D'accord.
The balladeer's actually doing what Nahida tells him. Guess he must want to stay alive.
Ouais, c'est marrant ça. Ou alors il est malin, il prépare un plan.
The rest is up to you. If you discover anything at all, make sure to share it with...
Will do.
Il va rien nous dire, je sens la douille
For
là.
once, we're the ones with no...
Traveler, Paimon. Yes, I've also invited Paimon.
Huh? What the? We can talk to each other inside our head?
That's part of it. Plus, we're all friends. There's nothing wrong with us talking like this once in a while.
Paimon's never tried this before. This is great! So, Paimon's been wanting to ask you something. Don't you think the balladeer's a bit of a walking contradiction? He's always talking back, but he seems to listen to what you say.
As I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answers.
Ok.
Well done. Smart and attentive as always.
J'ai eu de courtes visions, c'est vrai.
So,
Faut tout dire, faut tout
you made
dire.
contact with that part of his mind. Well, it's true. Betrayal.
Huh. Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin. Turns out, he can get...
Everyone has a history, Paimon. Even if you're a puppet created by the Archon.
Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the
Ah oui, c'est vrai.
Tatarasuna incident.
If you mean the mysterious events, the kabuki mono and so on,
Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatarasuna's history is still unexplained. And
Ah, ça se trouve, c'est vraiment l'imagination des gens. Mais non.
oh, how interesting. Those two managed to deduce quite a lot.
so the Gase got it right?
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved.
Ah, c'est vrai qu'il est là,
What
lui.
makes you think we're talking
Il est là,
to
lui.
each other?
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without
Il veut
me.
participer à la thèse.
Obviously, I must be the topic of... Of course you do. You can't have your prisoner knowing too much.
So, have you found anything yet?
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you in Irminsul at all.
Eh bah ouais, évidemment.
Wait,
On est pas près de la
I
retrouver,
know
notre
about
sister.
that. Didn't Ahita tell you?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if right now we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself. And making cordial conversation is something I can manage. Huh? Wait.
Oula, qu'est-ce qu'il a vu? Qu'est-ce qu'il sent? Oh.
This light. It looks similar to those saplings. What could it be?
Anonymous data.
Des données
Don't
anonymes,
forget
putain
the
mais.
agreement. You
Oh, c'est
have
un
to
vrai
share
truc
it with us.
informatique.
Shh. Just wait.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk?
Okay.
We are talking about Tatarasuna's furnace, after all. It may not pay to act rashly.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so? Well, since you insist.
It's...
Whoa!
Ok.
I have been in Tatarasuna for some
J'ai
time
vu que c'était une
now.
cinématique.
You have shown me great hospitality, as has Mikoshi Nagamasa. And indeed, under your leadership, Tatarasuna is a warm, welcoming place. Like a giant village. People are gainfully employed. Their lives have purpose. They are motivated. As I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, in recent years, eliminated much of the evil that plagued Inazuma. As for Tatarasuna, it was originally established as a means of safely disposing the forging
vieux aussi,
industry
ça,
with
quand on
crystal
devait
marrow as
récupérer
a
tous ces
raw
trucs.
material
C'était
has
stylé
since
aussi.
flourished, giving rise to generations, skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into this trade looks to find their purpose between steel and blade. That is why you accepted the proposal brought to you by myself and Akame.
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, the two of you never would have joined forces. And he would be the first to admit that there's no way he could have revolutionized our forging process like this on his own. You allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you jointly developed. He sold it to me, and now every piece of ore here is smelted using the new technique. Even now, you remain one of Tatarasuna's key consultants, working right here alongside us. I believe it is you, sir, who are—
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was commendable in the forging industry of Inazuma, and it has been my great honor to befriend you all.
So you say,
Ok, il est honoré, tout ça.
but is this—
My good sir.
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected, because I didn't want to speculate, and I didn't want to believe that things could turn out this way. What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke? Mounting production problems? Worker
Là, il parle
fatigue
de
and
la
casualties are up
pollution et
and
tout, là, non?
continuing to rise at an alarming rate. And recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. We've kept the truth from spreading outside, but still, I suspect you— none of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is taking the Golden Feather to Narukami Island to seek an audience with Shogun. This is our last hope, but that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does.
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere. I'm sure you've been harboring these suspicions for quite some time.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events. Namely you, Escher. But Mr. Mikoshi is more cautious than I. He does things by the book.
After all, Nagamasa is the adopted son of Mikoshi Torichio, the yokai struck down by the Shogun's own hand. If he truly seeks to redeem his family's honor, an abundance of caution is well advised.
You're well informed on the subtleties of his situation for a mechanic all the way from—
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as a diplomat?
Enough, Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device inside the high-risk zone so we can absorb it and put an end to the problem. I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility and head inside. Probably to my death. But what about you?
Que faites-vous encore
Judging
ici?
from the look in your eyes, you don't seem to
Drop the act! We're past that now. Whoever you are, it looks like your plan to destroy Tatarasuna— I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment.
Oh là, quoi? Attends.
A
C'est pas un
moment
coup de lame?
like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the furnace.
Il l'a tué ou pas?
You!
Qu'est-ce qu'il lui a fait alors?
You're a little smarter than I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well.
Du coup, nous on a vu,
days.
on a vu ça.
But to my surprise, you had your people look into my background right from the start. It's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to confirm that, and yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity, and what I seek in Tatarasuna.
Did you really think you would be able to see through my plan?
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside the furnace. So you're really going to destroy this place? Is that it?
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person. Some may not see him as a person, but you told him yourself. You're not a puppet. You're a human. You're just missing a heart.
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll be found out. But this makes no sense. What?
It's no trouble at all.
C'est un peu long encore.
Patience is a virtue which I have in abundance. This is all part of a carefully controlled... If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity. I'm a Fatui harbinger. Call me the Doctor.
Ah mais attends, salut le docteur.
Who?
Just to create a
Merde.
minor inconvenience.
That's it. That's why you gave us your...
Look how even the righteous soul is filled with venom when faced with its demise. My device functions precisely as you say. It is the only chance you have of preventing a catastrophe and keeping the... It is easier for a person to be possessed by evil spirits when they are filled with hate. So give in to your fury. I want to see what happens when a malevolent heart is placed into an unsuspecting puppet. Make no mistake, even without you, that pure, innocent puppet would only end up being used by someone else instead. What other reason would a human have for...
Oh, lui est en train de décéder, lui. Il est bientôt mort.
He has nothing to prove to anyone. Because not everyone.
What a beautiful way to see the world.
Ouais, il lui a dit en gros, il y a le gentil et vous êtes le méchant.
Then think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way your death is not a consequence of your own folly turning you into an easy target. You simply... I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend
il va pas mourir,
become a
personne meurt
human?
là-dedans, dans ce jeu.
No, that will prove quite Mr. Niwa. Already dead. Jester, I have completed the task you gave me. Creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner workings. I'd like to introduce...
Oula, ok. Ah ben, on revient là.
Hey!
Dottore.
Ouais, il va redevenir fou, lui. Ah, calme-toi, calme-toi. Excellent. Yeah, good.
The doctor? But why did we see things from him?
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory in his mind. You have to admit, it must...
Maybe so, but it means nothing.
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the device into the furnace. You know very well what that means. Even more...
Ah ouais, ok, l'histoire en fait c'était pas vrai. Ok, ok.
Let's give him some space.
We need to give him some time to process his emotions.
Faut qu'il se calme.
I'm still confused about the Tatarasuna incident.
Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. It's natural that you find it difficult to understand. So now you have the complete picture. Katsuragi took the kabuki mono to live with the people of Tatarasuna. Later, the doctor showed up. It was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just to plant seeds of disaster in Inazuma that would bear fruit in the future. Of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment, the balladeer became the main test subject. After the events he just saw in that memory,
Scaramouche s'est fait embobiner par le docteur.
into the device and handed it to the balladeer. Then, he instructed him to enter the furnace and absorb all the filth caused by the smelting process. The load was far beyond what he expected, but the balladeer survived. He left the furnace in sheer exhaustion and said the mechanic answered. Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you a gift. He said the mechanic removed the withered heart from the device as he spoke. The balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival.
Holy moly.
Oh là là, c'est compliqué.
So the doctor killed an innocent man and pinned everything on the victim?
Putain, il tue des innocents, le docteur. C'est pas cool.
Yes. Only if he understands this can he choose a new path forward.
Ok.
Tator, you brazen face.
Attendez un moment.
Niwa didn't run from
Tombez de rideau.
justice. You killed him.
Faut attendre combien de temps? On va faire le tour ou je sais pas quoi, non, faut juste marcher. Ok, c'est bon, on a attendu un moment. C'est pas mal ça. Ça sert à quelque chose.
Hey, you alright?
Il va dire yes, I'm right.
Are you worried about me? It won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Hey, are you investigating the stuff we want to know about?
That's why we're here. But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders in Irminsul.
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does not keep records on the Descenders. Anyone who comes from beyond this world is not counted as part of Tevat.
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
On bredouille.
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset. Well, since...
Huh? About what?
The reason why there are records about your sister in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Conria was her first destination when she arrived in this world. Plus, she only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
The heavens responded?
The jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria. I don't know the details.
Ok, c'est les mots de Pierrot.
It's up to you whether you want to believe me. Did you get all that, Lesser Lord?
Yes. Astonished.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul, but was it valuable?
Very valuable.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
C'est notre moment en privé, comment ça?
Huh? What have you done?
Ah, il peut
Lesser
changer
Lord
le truc.
Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I can't sustain this shield for very long. I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for me. Give me your hand.
Donne-moi ta main et prends la mienne. Donne-moi ta main et prends la mienne. Oh.
Can you hear my voice inside your head?
Il se passe quelque chose là. Mais non.
No, I can't do anything like that anymore. At most, so tell me, in this world, is it
Du coup, Paimon, elle entend pas.
Done.
Huh? What happened?
Okay.
I only saw you hold hands for a...
Nothing. I was just thanking him for helping me.
Après, on peut lui dire, elle, hein. C'est la sorote.
So long. I suggest you get yourselves...
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again.
Voilà, mais il va où du coup? Bah évidemment qu'on se reverra.
From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist.
Comment ça? Attends,
those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at life.
Hey, Balladeer! Don't
Mais
do
non, il va pas disparaître comme ça.
You know, I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. And I enjoy nothing more than to stamp them out like the pests they are. But if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone. Luckily...
Balladeer! Balladeer!
Scaramouche,
Uh-oh, he disappeared. Come on, we gotta find him.
Ok, il faut trouver le moyen de le retrouver. Oh là là, mais où il est parti? Bon, il est parti pour de bon, là. On va pas le revoir, hein. Faut s'y faire.
Oh no, he's really gone.
Oh,
Oh.
can you hear me?
gros, mais c'est vraiment le satellite, ça.
Paimon, balladeer, what happened just now?
It was the balladeer's fault. He shut you out.
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little power left. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or did he achieve something beyond his abilities? And it took everything he had.
Il avait encore assez de force, hein.
Where the heck did he go?
Don't be. It's not your fault. Please, let me handle this from here, even though I'm not sure I can solve it. We're running out of time. Follow my lead and get out of Irminsul as...
Ok, faut quitter cet endroit dès que possible. Est-ce que ça nous quitte direct? Ça serait pas mal. Putain, ils veulent pas faire une pause d'un dialogue là, faut que je mange un truc, je vais m'endormir.
An inn or something?
This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged. I'm sorry.
Ok, on reste là.
An emergency? How bad is it? Nahida, will you be okay?
Don't worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be some minor disturbances, it won't lead to a disaster. Please rest and recover your strength here until I say it's safe.
Her voice has gone.
Ok.
I can't shake the feeling that something really big has happened. What do you think the balladeer meant? And what?
Ah, mais putain, ils veulent... Ok, ok.
He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible.
Il veut tout changer.
Right. You can't just It's like, imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. Even if no one was there to see it, Paimon would sure as heck remember drinking it. So, why does Paimon still have a bad feeling about this? Paimon can't help but feel scared about what he might do. Paimon's so...
Wow, attends, il a fait tomber la jarre.
Sorry. Paimon accidentally...
C'est la faute à Scaramouche, mais c'est pas de sa faute, c'est toi qui as renversé le truc.
But erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable. Is that really possible in Irminsul? Uh-oh. Paimon's head is overheating from trying to understand what he's up to. And it's still not working. Paimon's had it with that little brat. There's no way he'll actually succeed, right?
Ok, nous on parle pas.
There's nothing we can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas on what we should do next? Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But Paimon's still so worried.
La seule chose à faire, c'est dormir, je suis bien d'accord avec, je suis éclaté.
So, how about we list
Tes noms de
our
plats
favorite
délicieux.
foods to
Compte
take
les
our
moutons, Paimon.
things.
Ça suffira, ça marchera très bien.
That doesn't work. All right.
Tu vois, tu t'allonges, ferme les yeux.
Munstack grilled fish.
Vous allez tout faire.
And chicken mushroom skewers. And Dragon chili chicken. Almond tofu. Satisfying salad. Also Adeptus temptation. Golden shrimp balls. Triple layered consommé. Lotus seed and bird egg soup. And...
Oh, ça s'endort, ça marche. Et moi aussi, je commence à m'endormir, les gars. Je commence à partir. C'est la folie. C'est la folie. Ok, le jour s'est levé, nous on est debout. Paimon, elle se réveille, tranquillou.
What do we... Paimon was, talking? Huh. Paimon suddenly can't... Is that a food too? Huh.
Ah putain, elle a Alzheimer.
What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something Paimon said?
Ok.
So,
Putain, je suis
the
AFK.
balladeer. Okay, sure. Where are we going?
On va où? J'aimerais qu'on est à Inazuma. Ah, cool, on va changer un peu.
Paimon, but is everything okay?
quoi Inazuma? Nickel, tombe de rideau, oiseau de la nuit. Une danse de destruction. Très bien. En fait, c'est gigalement, faut que je prenne un TP là. Je suis bête. Paf. Paf, paf. Et c'est parti. Là, les chargements ils sont longs. Après, peut-être que ça joue que la map elle soit plus grande qu'avant. Peut-être que les chargements sont plus longs du coup. Je sais pas. Alors, faut qu'on aille. Ouais, quand même, je trouve cette zone et tout, elle est plus jolie. Hein. Ouais, elle est plus jolie cette zone quand même. C'est des grandes plaines et tout. C'est vraiment stylé. Ok, on est à la forge. Bah oui, est-ce qu'il se souvient de nous, moi, oui.
Now there's a question I wasn't expecting. The once renowned Raiden Gokuden, comprised of 5 branches. The art of forging practiced by these 5 clans was first taught to them personally. But most of the great swordsmith clans of old have since fallen into decline. But fortunately, Kaedehara Kazuha recently returned to Inazuma and took up the mantle of the Ishin art. If my memory serves me right, you yourself were present.
Oui, j'étais là, c'était très stylé.
Oh, yeah,
Une belle cinématique.
Paimon remembers that now. They learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden Gokuden then too.
In fact, this was not made known to me for most of my life. All these years, I knew of those great clans' demise. He told me that, as we are both heirs to a branch of the Raiden Gokuden, it was right. There is no harm in telling you, but I must warn you. It is the Raiden Gokuden, the targets of a murderous rampage by a vengeful bladesmith.
Vengeful? Why?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Tatarasuna's furnace. One brave swordsmith heard the commotion and chose not to flee. Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that day. And overseeing it, knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives, Mr. Niwa and the swordsmith leaped together into the furnace. The smith's death, though heroic, dealt a devastating blow to his family's fortunes.
Ah, bah oui.
His orphaned son was left to fend for himself, and grew up deeply resentful at the world. In his heart,
son fils il a fini
the
solo.
whole of Inazuma was culpable in his tragedy. He hated the almighty Shogun for her apparent indifference towards his father's death. Powerless and destitute, the only legacy he had to pass on to his children was his hatred. Generation after generation bore this grudge. Alas. If only the story could have ended there. But 100 years ago, finally, he made a drastic decision to take revenge on the Raiden Gokuden. In his fury, he murdered indiscriminately, killing even bladesmiths from the Yakume clan which he belonged to. His goal was absolute. But when he came to the Kaedehara and Kamisato clans, his killing spree came to an abrupt end. He failed to catch them unawares.
En même temps, le clan Kamisato, gros,
that is why the Kaedehara clan and their Ishin art survived that day.
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Kazuha?
Oh, on va aller le voir. Il avait l'air en forme. Parfait.
My pleasure.
Bon, c'est un plaisir.
There are other places you want to visit too, right? On to the next stop. Lead the way.
En route pour la prochaine étape. Ici, parti. C'est où? 400 mètres, 500 mètres. Gauche et Kamisato. Cool, cool, cool. On revoit des persos qu'on aime bien. Oh.
We're here.
Traveler, It's been a while.
Ah ouais, ça fait longtemps.
If you're looking for the commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I'm afraid you're...
Are they out on business?
The commissioner is out on business, and Miss Kamisato is standing in for some meetings in the commissioner's place.
What do you think? Shall we go in?
Ok, on va rentrer se mettre bien.
If it were anyone else, I couldn't allow it. But seeing as you're so close with the commissioner and Miss Kamisato...
We'll be heading
Bah
in
bien
then.
sûr. Nous on fait ce qu'on veut, on est le pote de tout le monde. Oh la vieille.
Hello, dears. Is there something you want? Of course, traveler. Yes, I know who you are. What would you like to know? Oh, they're both very well indeed. Lately, Miss Kamisato has been rather busy
Kamisato, elle a
attending
plein de
all
réunions.
kinds of meetings. As for the commissioner himself, well, you know, busy as ever. That
So pretty much business as usual in the Yashiro Commission, huh?
very much so.
Bon ça déjà, ok.
Well, got any more questions?
You're very
C'est tout
welcome.
pour le moment.
In fact, Miss Kamisato talks about you all the time. She seems so thrilled, I must say. Many things in Inazuma seem to have taken a turn for the better since you were...
Bah c'est vrai que partout où on passe, on fait du bien quand même.
Whenever the
faut le
commissioner
dire.
dines at home,
On sauve toutes les villes d'une catastrophe.
I always find the commissioner has such a busy schedule that he doesn't always have the chance to take his meal. They say it's because Toma is a much better chef than most. Oh, the commissioner, they get to talking about you.
Vas-y, elle va me raconter sa vie longtemps là, ou ça marche
You
comment par
know,
contre?
Miss
C'est
Kamisato
bon, quoi.
occasionally joins them as well. When it's been many years now since the late Mr. and Mrs. As
Ah, mais elle chante
someone
carrément.
who is old and grey enough to have watched their son, and so in the future, if
C'est
you ever
insupportable, sa
do
voix.
have the time, please know
Insupportable.
you are always wonderful. Thank you.
On dirait elle chante tout le temps. Wonderful.
Here too. Also, you were saying something about the Paimon's itching to try it. We may just have to invite ourselves around for dinner sometime.
Of course.
Alright, goodbye.
Ok, on va manger.
We're great.
Elle me donne
Goodbye
faim.
now.
Paymon, elle me donne tout le temps
We'll
faim.
see ourselves out.
Ok, elle a tout le temps faim
All
aussi.
right then.
Allez, au revoir, bye bye.
Oh, are you two leaving already?
Oh ouais, on a parlé avec madame là.
Everything's taken care of now. Don't worry.
Very well. Safe travels. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Bye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend. Ok. On va pas y aller à patin. Oh, c'est loin. Putain, mais c'est vrai qu'Inazuma, c'est des îles et tout. Stylé. Pam, 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 pam. Ta 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 la la la. Don, 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 don.
Well, here we are. But what are we looking for?
Do my eyes deceive
Tiens.
me, or is that the traveler
c'est
in
Xavier.
Paimon?
Ah oui, on le voit des fois lui.
What are you doing here?
I was in the general area, and now I'm in this specific area. There, that's me. So,
We have some questions and thought you might be able to help.
certainly do. I've researched the furnace here in some depth. If there's anything you want to know, just ask away. Like the back of
C'est
my
quoi, ouais, l'histoire?
hand. Make note. Not only
Ça
that, but
raconte-nous
I've
encore
met
une histoire de
people in
15 minutes, là, on
Inazuma
adore ça.
whose families used to live in Tatarasuna years ago. Oh, well, it's a long story, don't you know? The tale of Tatarasuna starts I'm told that its history is one of the most foremost forging and smelting operations in the nation. Goes back around 1,000 years. Still, the furnace has had a couple of serious maintenance
Putain, mais
issues
c'est la même
along the
histoire, là.
way.
A couple? When exactly?
One was just in the last few years, the other was several hundred years ago. A fun fact, I'm not the first Fontaine tech guy. They say he was a mechanic who consulted on a technology upgrade. It seems like the technological collaboration between our two nations goes back a long way. How about...
Ah ouais.
Hey, weren't you gonna ask Xavier something about...
Oh, I didn't realize you two were here for a history lesson.
Me neither. Paimon doesn't know what's gotten into this.
What brought this on? Did you just wake up today with a sudden... Sure, go ahead. A kabuki mono?
Nous, c'est tataramusa qui nous intéresse.
I do know the word, Inazuman for those eccentric types who always go around dressed to the nines. Just the sort of person that I'd like to meet. But sadly, I've never had the pleasure, nor have I come across anything to do with a kabuki mono where...
Okay.
Of course! Don't mention it.
Oh, we're leaving?
Oh, you're most welcome. More farewell.
Bye-bye.
Looks like you got all the information you're looking for. Sure, but what's up with you today? Whatever, keep your smile, Spinal Crocodile. No matter what happens, Paimon will
elle est
always
gentille,
be there
Paimon.
for you.
On va lui dire merci.
Don't mention it. All right, let's head off.
Ok, go. Quête terminée. Hop, et on repart là-bas. C'est pas fini, c'est pas fini.
Faster.
Ok, faster. Faster. Ok, faster. Tous mes persos ils sont à... J'allais dire ils sont à 19 000, mais pas du tout, pas du tout. Ok, 2 PV.
Hey, it's them.
Eh, on montre pas du doigt, c'est mal poli. Son compagnon. Je dirais Paimon, elle a un nom. Hein. Mais je crois pas.
Indeed we are. If you have a moment, we'd love for you to join us once more.
We have time. What do you want to talk to us about?
It's the same topic we discussed last time.
Still looking for more info about Tatarasuna, huh?
Est-ce qu'on va en apprendre plus?
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real progress.
Merde,
Huh? Oh, of course.
Moi je le relis pas, hein. C'est bon, ça va aussi. Ah, et du jaune, c'est ce qu'il a corrigé? C'est ce qui est nouveau?
I presume you'll want to read mine as well. Here.
Non, c'est bon, toi c'est un brouillon. Non? Extrait 1. Waouh, extrait 2, extrait 3. Waouh, c'est stylé, hein, mec. Hein. J'avoue, t'es fort, hein.
Well, what do you think?
Hey,
Excellent.
Traveler.
Excellent
Remember
travail.
how last time Akaba was saying...
What did you find out? Something big?
It's a long story. Basically, we have some friends in Inazuma, and...
Ok.
Wow, so many new details. Thank you so...
Well, well. So it all comes down to one man's desire for revenge. Huh. You heard this from a member of the Arminoma clan, you say? Then I guess it must be true.
Ça ne peut... Quoi? Être que
there's
vrai,
no
oui,
ghost
ça c'est
story
bon.
here.
This
Pas d'histoire
new
de fantôme.
information actually lends further credence to my hypothesis. Evidently, swordsmiths were seen as having an incredibly prestigious role in society.
Yes, yes, okay, point
Ouais,
taken,
ouais,
you
une
were
histoire de
right.
vengeance.
But that doesn't mean I can't carry on with my novel.
And they're back at it. These guys are...
Oh, so sorry. Look at us, prattling on about our projects and ignoring you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. See ya.
Keep us in the loop if you find out anything else.
Will do.
On vous tient au courant. Si on repasse dans le coin, on vous tient au courant. Nos soucis. Nos soucis. C'est quoi qui... Oh, ils m'ont saoulé, eux. Non mais oh. Ça va pas? Ah merde, c'était en haut. Je me suis mis dans la merde tout seul. Allez, c'est bon. Vite, le sanctuaire. Alors, Nahida, où on en est? Petit point.
Nahida, we're here! Traveler, Paimon, how have you been?
Ouais, on va bien, on va bien. Ah non, c'est pas la grande forme.
Paimon hasn't had a moment. The balladeer?
Attends. Elle se souvient pas?
Troubled. Is there something...
Ah ouais, elle se souvient pas de Scaramouche. Eh, parce qu'avant de partir, il a dit on se souviendra jamais du nom Scaramouche et je sais plus quoi. Aïe,
Hey, what's wrong?
Ça doit être chiant ça. D'être face à quelqu'un où tu sais que sa mémoire elle a été effacée. Et tu peux rien faire parce que il te croira pas. Cliquez pour continuer. Ah merde. C'était une marionnette. Ah bah, là au moins c'est en texte. En voilà une histoire. Bah est-ce qu'elle va nous croire?
So, this puppet known as the balladeer erased himself from Irminsul.
But how was he even able to do that?
As the traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently. I don't recall, but nevertheless,
Ah oui.
It does make sense. If someone were to successfully erase themselves from Irminsul, the world would change to reflect the...
So, you believe this person really existed, and we just don't remember him because, well...
Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible to do this. The traveler comes from a world beyond to that. That's why there's no information about him in Irminsul. So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining...
Paimon's having a hard time understanding this balladeer guy's...
I can only make inferences based on the information we've been given. As for what kind of person he was, only you remember that.
Ah, est-ce que je me souviens vraiment de lui? Bah ouais, à la base c'est un ennemi, hein. Bien sûr, ou alors il a voulu complètement effacer son existence. Non mais il est pas mort. Je pense qu'il va revenir.
Something else worrying you? Something that you can't share? It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died, right? Once the balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, it must have completely changed his view of the people of Tatarasuna. Now he couldn't keep hating humans after that. And if he thought there was a chance he could save his old friends, it would be hard not to try. The story makes sense. Every part of it. The balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the doctor's help. He was unto that power then enabled him to change what was recorded in Irminsul and erase himself.
Yeah, it does make sense, but it still ended in tragedy. It just feels so hopeless. He gave everything to do this, but it seems like he got...
Ouais, après voilà, je trouve... Peut-être qu'il y a des changements qu'on n'a pas encore vus.
I want to check something. Found it. This should be the one.
Oh, le cube.
It turns out that I have a strange way of confirming everything he is.
What is it?
A record from a personal collection. It was tucked away in a corner. You should take a look.
En fait, c'est un disque dur vert. Un disque dur écologique.
Is this a fairy tale? Who wrote it?
Ah, c'est un
I
conte.
authored this record myself.
Huh? You wrote a...
When combined with the traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory. Everything in it is a symbol.
Hold on. So this record survived from...
Yes. Any information about the balladeer or the kabuki mono and other records will have been changed. Changing the information in irminsul changes to that. But irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance. I guess I must have written this story as a backup before the balladeer entered irminsul.
That's incredible! What a great idea!
Elle a fait une sauvegarde du disque dur.
Sending the traveler into irminsul with the balladeer must have been a further precaution. I knew he'd remember everything. This story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present information recorded. But if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that emerges is the one he told us.
Ok, on peut reconstituer la vie de Scaramouche. Est-ce que c'est bien de faire ça?
There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster, once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water.
Pauvre, il regarde son reflet.
But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender and it could not grow a coat of rich. Furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals panicked as the fire spread. A gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said, "You are the cleverest among us. Surely you can help us find a way to solve this." The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire,
C'est le renard gris qui a pris.
The gray fox's heart was turned into a beautiful...
Aïe aïe.
The monster gave a heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided. You are the one who must be sacrificed. Take this, quench the flames, and..."
Il meurt pour tes amis renards.
The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live.
C'est une longue histoire, hein. C'est un récit. Mais c'est mignon le petit chat, il est triste.
Never again would it cherish a single creature, nor a single blade of grass that stood on that mountain. The kitten spent the nights wandering aimlessly, gnashing its how it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moonlight. If the world could only return to darkness, then it would finally be peaceful and content.
Je vois ce que tu veux dire.
I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were once birds.
D'accord. Ça, c'était l'histoire du cube.
I remember now. This is not just the balladeer stooped to become a god. He was experimented on and modified countless times. It was brutal torture, and this memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Presumably, they kept it to have something to defend themselves with.
Oh merde, ils vont se prémunir de Scaramouche.
It was just the first step. Some of them wanted to be able to control it. I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams, and then hid it inside an allegorical story so that it wouldn't be altered.
It's hard to believe that this person really existed, let alone that he tried to get rid of us on more than one occasion. Paimon has no memory of him at all. He completely vanished like a puff of smoke.
The balladeer
C'est vrai
agreed
que
to
ouais,
help me
de
look
base,
for
il veut nous tuer tout le
information
temps.
about the descenders, and although before he vanished, he confirmed an important detail. That Khan
Ouais, la sœur,
the
l'assistant.
change to Irminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui, but...
It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy a whole lot if he was still around. But still, Paimon doesn't like the way it all ended that much better.
This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions. We look, we see, and we comprehend, but the question still troubles us. So the answer is not everything. People yearn to find the truth and then conquer the troubles they face. When you give someone the truth, you give them a chance to choose their own destiny. To others looking on, this may seem like a pointless endeavor, but for him, The chance to act on his desire to disappear must have meant a lot. Never forget that even when we walk beneath dark clouds along a road filled with suffering, the light of witness is what you've been doing all along.
Yeah, Nahita's right. Cheer up. How about we go get something to eat?
Good idea. Paimon, why don't you take him out for a walk to clear his head?
Ok, on va aller se changer les idées tranquillou.
You need to get out of your head for a while.
Faut changer les idées dehors ou je sais pas où.
That'll be sure to lift our spirits.
Ouais, au grand bazar.
Must be really tough being
Ça
the
c'est
only
bon
one
ça.
who remembers all that. But
On va faire du chamboule tout.
always here to help.
Alors, le grand bazar. Changez-vous les idées. Ouhou. C'est pareil, il doit y avoir un TP en bas. En bas là. Est-ce que c'est plus simple? Bah ouais, carrément. Carrément. Mais carrément, c'est pas la folie non plus, mais ça va. Ouais, si, c'est carrément plus simple. Hop là. Salut les potes. On va se changer les idées au grand bazar. On va boire les coups. On va surtout entendre une discussion ou croiser quelqu'un. Comme d'hab.
We're here. What should we eat first?
Qu'est-ce qu'on mange?
Hey, are you gonna answer or what?
Attends, Paimon. Faut réfléchir là.
Alright, whatever you want. Well, Paimon will be right here when you figured stuff out.
Putain, mais il parle beaucoup là, le voyageur. Qu'aucun invisité ne peut effacer sa propre existence lui-même. Quoi? Mais du coup, il peut pas, il a pas pu effacer son truc. Eh oui.
Excuse me, boss. There seems to be a small problem with the last bill. Look.
C'est qui lui? C'est qui? Putain, il y a que de nouveaux persos. Ah, mais oui, Scaramouche version bleue. Il est stylé comme ça aussi. C'est un skin. On dirait que c'est un skin.
Hey,
ou alors c'est son frérot.
Hmm? You mean me?
No, not you. That kid. Didn't you see? Little rascal grabbed my last 2 fresh Sunsettias and ran off. Look,
okay, go
if you're gonna help out here, you can't keep spacing out, okay? What is it? The work's too boring for you? Or has the big city got too many distractions?
I wasn't paying close enough attention. Sorry, boss. I think you're right. Maybe it's the city. It's so exciting.
Who's that guy? You know him or something? He's
Ah oui, elle est bête ou quoi? Regarde, il a la même dégaine. Il est juste habillé en bleu au lieu d'être habillé en rouge.
You say you don't want any money for helping out here, and then when I actually give you some work to do, you keep letting yourself get distracted. I don't want to take advantage, so I'm happy to pay you what I'd pay anyone else. But if you keep acting like this, pretty soon I won't be—
No, please. I mean it. You don't need to pay me anything. I'm just so thankful you agreed.
You're welcome, I guess. But I got bigger things to worry about. Look, we're all out of Sunsettias, and I promise the—
Leave it to me. I'll find some more. Just a moment. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Stop.
He back.
I'm gonna level with you, kiddo. I've never met a worker who said they didn't want a wage before. And at first, I got greedy. Couldn't believe my luck. But I figured you'd start asking for something in return eventually.
Ah oui, mais
You don't want money. You don't take days off. And in your free time, all I see you do is wander around, taking in the sights. Are you a drift?
That's right, I am.
C'est un vagabond, voilà.
First, let me get those fruits you needed.
Hey,
c'est bon, il va la rattraper.
Okay, stay out of sight.
Go
Don't let
filature.
him see you.
Go le prendre en filature, le Scaramouche. Version blue. Il est parti où par contre? On va le rattraper ou... Il est parti loin. Loin ça. Où est-il? Ah, il va nous capter.
This'll do.
Even though you say he's the balladeer, what are we planning on doing? Stealing his Sunsetias? Isn't that a bit too cruel? Oh, all right.
This should be enough. Ah, guess I should wash them.
Ouais, faut les laver. C'est mieux pour les clients.
Huh? You two over there. Is there something I can help you with?
Bah oui.
He spotted us.
You've been following me all the way from the city. I'd have to be blind not to notice.
C'est vrai, vous me faites penser à quelqu'un.
Before? No, we haven't met. But you know me?
Oui.
I have no recollection.
Are you absolutely sure?
Sorry, but I just can't take your word for it.
Vous êtes une marionnette, n'est-ce pas?
A puppet? What makes you think that?
Oh là là. Ah! On a touché un bon point.
You were right. The look on his face.
I guess you do know me after all. That is not something I share with a lot of people.
Ah oui, on te connaît, oui.
Look, I'm just a wanderer. But seeing as you've gone through all this trouble to track me down, I'm sure whatever it is must... Okay, but please let me deliver these goods to my boss first.
Allez, si tu veux, avec ton chapeau, là.
Are you really working for that guy? He said you don't want any more of...
Yes, I ran into him out in the wilderness during a storm. And he let me take shelter in his cart. In return...
That's oddly nice of you.
Let me take these back. Then I'll come with you, okay?
Okay.
And let's return to the city.
Go en ville.
More speed. Time to scout.
Est-ce qu'il a rincé ses pommes? Putain, il va pas être content, son boss.
Here you go, boss. I'll leave them right here.
Oh, you really went and picked some more.
Something's come up, and they need to borrow me. Sorry, boss. I'm afraid I'll be away from...
Bah gros, tu payes pas, ça va.
To pay you anyway. Go wherever you want, kid. Don't waste your time here.
What?
I get it, okay? You just wanted to help me out, to thank me for giving you shelter from the rain that day. Even then, but look, it was pouring down and there you were, sauntering along with... Imagine you were me for a second. It's a little weird, right? Why is this guy traveling during a rainstorm?
Oh, vous êtes quitte au pire maintenant en plus.
But anyway, taking you in didn't put me out even slightly. You don't owe me a thing for it. Certainly not all this. Your time is valuable.
But I don't...
Je n'ai pas de vie, il allait dire.
No, you're right. Then I suppose this is where we say goodbye. Thank you again for taking me into the city.
Don't mention it, kiddo. I've run into all kinds of characters over the years. I just hope you find your path.
Vas-y, on va lui trouver sa voie.
All right, done.
Alors, qu'est-ce qu'on va lui montrer? Retourner au sanctuaire. Bah ouais, parfait, voilà. C'était sûr. Non, c'est pas celui-là. C'est celui-là.
More speed.
Attends, c'est celui-là, il y en avait un plus haut. Il y en avait un plus haut, non? Non. Pas du tout. Pas du tout. Est-ce qu'elle va se rappeler de lui? Oh, qu'est-ce qu'elle fait avec son cube encore?
What's wrong? Huh? Are you?
Hello. I do apologize for the sudden...
We found this guy in the street, but he doesn't seem to remember anything. So, yeah.
Bah oui, ça colle bien.
You say that you are trekking across Teyvat to train yourself.
Well, it seems more relevant in my case. To me, it sounds like a plant with no roots.
Ouais, ok.
But these two claim that they know me, and that I have a hidden past unknown.
I wouldn't call it the past, but rather... I don't like to rely on using terms like this often, but in your case...
Ouais, il a eu une vie antérieure. C'est fou.
Like a past life or something?
Yes. Something far more distant than the past. So far away...
Okay, I have to ask. What was...
Un méchant. Méchant et tu voulais nous tuer.
Okay, you want to tell me, but you can't bring yourselves to say it. Looks like I didn't have the most wonderful existence in my previous incarnation. If it's that difficult to talk about, I have no doubt it will be just as difficult to hear. But I'll be able to handle it. Please, tell me the truth.
Mais pourquoi il s'est barré si au final?
Yes.
Then I'll be straight with you. In your previous incarnation, you nearly died because of what other people did. And many died because of you. As a non-human being, you hated gods and humans alike. You drifted from place to place, never able to settle, even where you found status and identity. You adamantly believed that you were missing a heart. Actions rooted in persistence sometimes bear bitter fruit.
Le pauvre. Son passé, le pauvre, il a fait une crise cardiaque.
But it barely changed history at all.
In terms of the outcome alone, that's...
I don't think I can judge everything I've heard purely in terms of right and wrong. Each choice a person makes belongs to a specific place and time. A chain of cause and effect. A cycle of karma and consequence.
That is the nature of truth. If one thing is right, its opposite must be wrong.
It seems like my previous incarnation wasn't the most likable individual.
Il était pas aimable, il était méchant.
We're not trying to hurt your feelings or anything.
If we were enemies, why are you trying to help me find the truth?
This is so frustrating! This guy's supposed to be our arch enemy, but now he's just some random stranger we met on the street! He's got so much to answer for, but we can't make him talk because he doesn't remember anything!
Lesser Lord Kusanali, as the god of wisdom, I trust that everything you told me must be true.
Yes, it's all true. I can even show you the memories themselves, if you're willing.
Please, I want to see them for myself.
Even though
il
it
va
will
voir tout ce
cause
qu'il a
your
fait.
present self great mental anguish.
I'm just a puppet, with no heart and no name.
Very well. As you wish.
Ok, elle va lui montrer son passé.
This one's kind of on us for bringing him here.
Don't worry. Whatever danger I might face, it's my burden to bear.
Traveler, could I ask you to supervise him on my...
Ok, on
Good
supervise.
point. Given your, unique situation, we...
Understood.
Thank you. Now.
Ok. Entrer dans le souvenir. Délivrer, c'est ça? Réminiscence. Ouh. C'est un donjon. Go comme ça. Putain, on va pouvoir tester Scaramouche, ça se trouve. En version bleue. Blue Edition.
Right now, you're in a dream I created using These memories will show you the raw truth. But be aware that enemies may reach...
Sounds like an immersive experience.
You don't need to do this for me. I don't deserve your...
We never give up halfway. Well,
All right.
J'espère que ça va encore se battre quand même.
Wanderer, this is the Shake Pavilion. In your balladeer incarnation, this is where the Electro Archon plays.
Is that because this is kind of like his...
You could say that in a...
I hear footsteps.
This place is huge. I can't believe the landslide didn't fill it in. I wonder who built it. No, there's no way. Look at this exquisite construction work, and so well preserved too. No mining crew would be capable of this. There's someone passed out on the ground.
Who are you?
You're awake. What happened? How'd you get... Not a scratch. And these fine clothes.
This man is Katsuragi, deputy to Torichiyo's adopted son, Mikoshi Nagamasa. He found the balladeer in Shake Pavilion and took...
And the rest is history. Well, it used to be.
In the original version of events,
Let me get you out of here.
During the tatarasuna incident, Niwa was murdered by the doctor, disguised as a mechanic. The balladeer, then known as the Kabukimono, disappeared not long after. As the second in command at Tatarasuna, responsibility for what had happened, but Katsuragi had sworn lifelong loyalty to Nagamasa after the latter had once saved his life. At
Katsuragi seems like he was a good guy.
Continuez l'exploration.
He looks like a warrior, but he has a kind face. Why couldn't he live a long and happy life?
Ça fait plaisir.
Nagamasa, I found this young guy in a cave sealed off by a landslide. He doesn't remember his name.
Well,
we need to call you something.
Non, c'est de la touche
I
bien.
hear the workers are calling you the Kabukimono.
That's fine with me.
Qu'est-ce qu'il faut faire?
Katsuragi, report to Niwa. Tell him we have someone new joining us.
Ça sent les problèmes. Ah non, c'est par là. Y a pas de problème, que des solutions. Ok, faut aller dessous. Ouah, ça va me taper. Ok, c'est bon. On est vivace.
More speed.
C'est quoi ça, c'est un portail?
What are we doing back here? Whoa, this is where you were born?
I was abandoned, like you. I lived here for a while at first, but...
Qu'il a été abandonné.
I heard my mom and dad used to make swords, but the factory manager died.
Forgeron.
And he kept coughing all the time, just like me. Then
But you can't. You promised me.
Yup, we're family now. We're gonna be together forever and ever.
This child didn't have a name. Or rather, the balladeer didn't know what to call him. His father died before he could name him. After his mother died, the child stayed in their straw hut alone. After leaving Tatarasuna, the balladeer ran into this child who didn't have a name, just like him. They made a promise to live together.
Ok, donc pour le moment, ils étaient cool quoi.
He died from his illness while he was still very young. The balladeer came home one day and found...
Mais ça, ah oui, mais ça on l'avait vu cette histoire.
What's wrong? Say something! You promised me we could be family!
Il nous repasse la même histoire, mais pas foutu de la même façon. Un truc de fou. Bon, on la connaît à force.
The voices have gone.
Let's keep going.
Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Wow, le flèche, on a failli se faire harponner. On va revenir au début, on va voir le seum. Oh.
You do realize you're blocking my path.
Ok, du combat.
Not to obstruct you. I'm the mediator. What you are truly is a weapon. One that could be wielded with an iron will.
Oh là là. One shoot.
Drift
one shoot pas, mais... C'est quand même bien mal.
Are you trying to win me over?
Fated rebellion has begun. Why not take your place at the banquet and join those who shall feast?
Oh merde, je suis dans la brume. C'est pas grave.
This place is dark.
Paimon knows this place.
In the original version of events, the traveler once in...
Such a creepy atmosphere.
Attends, ça se trouve, on va combattre Scaramouche, mais le méchant.
Well, my
voilà, c'était sûr.
Is this rundown factory and these incompetent fools all for me?
What do you have to gain from belittling your subordinates? You might perhaps find fighting in the abyss to be a more meaningful use of your time? Oh, but of course, even this...
What a sharp tongue you... Funny how negotiating never seems to be your strong suit. For the task ahead, I suggest you keep your true feelings...
Save your breath. I know what I have to do.
I'm sure you think so, but I still think you need to hear it. Don't start thinking you're invincible. And don't let your emotions...
Surely you're not...
I just can't have you getting in my way. You and Child never fail to find ways to complicate things.
I'm merely lighting a little fire in this chaotic nation. But you, being tossed out, do you remember the last time you were here? That was a lot of swordsmiths you killed.
Putain,
I'm sure the descendants of the Raiden Gokaden look at you. Oh, don't get so sentimental. Now, give that poor little tongue. Bye then. See you at the victory feast.
Bye bye.
Poor little tongue? She's playing with fire talking to me. Forget it. Someone might find me.
Okay.
The plot does not end here. There is more of this story to come. Wanderer, are you...
Yes.
Why are you staring at me in silence?
Ok, faut encore éliminer les ennemis.
Nicer way to express yourself.
I'm under no obligation to be nice to you. Besides, I thought nothing mattered to you except results and your own interests. Isn't that right?
On va les mettre beaucoup de dégâts, je pense. 148 000.
You're only number 6 because you can take more abuse than other humans. Do you really count that as an asset?
You're about as much fun to be
C'est vrai quand c'est le bordel aussi comme ça.
Fait que des partout. Before we murder each other, it'd be best if we finish our duties.
Il est où?
Crush! Rock! Rise!
C'est nul, je t'esquive. Et voilà. Du bon combat comme on aime, avec plein d'ulti et plein de dégâts. On en est où là?
Looks like we've arrived in Sumeru.
Ah oui.
Is that?
Considering that Amorta's sage, Nafis, refused to join this project, I'll take part in the experiment in his...
Welcome. I look forward to a fruitful...
Le docteur encore.
When do we start?
You seem impatient. You should know that becoming a god is far from a trivial...
The biological transformation is a lengthy process. As such, I too would recommend that we commence a...
Nothing worse than what I've been through before then, Doctor.
You were the most resilient test subject I ever came across. Thanks to you, I was able to garner a great... Alas, after that, you were under orders to remain in the abyss. We barely saw each other, and it became difficult to further refine...
That was gracefully worded. Ever wonder what they think if they knew that nothing matters to you, apart from your crazy experiments?
Lui, c'est qu'il faisait les expériences dans les autres quêtes.
Speak to me in a more respectful tone.
The doctor again?
That person gives off a very sinister energy.
It's normal for him to give you the creeps. He scares the bejeebers out of Paimon.
Let's move on.
Ok. Avançons. Sauter là? Ah non. Je comprenais pas. Donc pour moi c'est ça, il faut passer de portail en portail. C'est chill.
You're a god. Do you think I'm evil?
If you accept that he is you, just as you are you.
In your eyes? Are there any differences between humans and...
Do you think there are any differences between your present self and your previous and future incarnations? If not, then what are the differences between humans and puppets? Whoever has tasted the joys and sorrows of life in the human realm is human. Whoever has loved and lost...
Oh bah, putain.
I've seen
Être un humain, c'est pas cool des fois.
If possible, I'd like to reclaim the sin, no matter the consequences. I won't run from blame or punishment. Can you return my memories to me?
Huh? But won't that mean you'll lose your current identity?
Il va redevenir méchant.
I've always believed that human lives follow a set of rules. With each person being a collection of... As a puppet living in a human world, my life is subject to the same rules.
Regaining your memories means reverting completely to your previous incarnation. Are you sure you want to...
I've lived with the void in my chest my whole life. My creator didn't need me. And ever since I awoke, I've just drifted from one place, but then I met you. And I finally realized that reclaiming my missing sins might be my...
Donc en fait, ça faisait un moment qu'il vivait comme ça, en mode vagabond.
I've always felt I have an innate tendency to yearn for something more, in a way that goes deeper than for most people. So I beg you, grant me this opportunity to gain a purpose, to change my destiny.
Very well.
Ouais, j'avoue, c'est un errant et tout, ça.
Since your mind is made up, I will return to you that which is yours.
Voilà. Mais est-ce qu'il va quand même être en bleu?
You have made your decision. Now, take this.
Set him free.
A puppet? What's he doing here? You're a human as far as I'm concerned.
Everyone's here. Wonderful.
What a fine blade. Nagamasa will be thrilled.
This is my...
Is he alright? No way!
All worthless dross will be purged. That's why this won't be the end.
Très stylé la cinématique. Ouais, Scaramouche. Attends. C'est quoi ça? Vraiment là, il peut faire ça? Il peut voler? Ok, ça c'est Non, c'est trop stylé. Bon, après, je peux pas me soigner. Ah, je peux faire ça, genre. Oh, cool. Par contre, je vais mourir. Non, c'est pas ça que je voulais faire. Ok, faut que je la joue par contre plus stratège. Est-ce que là je reste en l'air? Ouais, ok. Pourquoi son ulti? Ok. Comme ça je suis obligé de me bouffer par contre. Ouais, je comprends pas. Oh. J'ai repris de la vie, je sais pas pourquoi. C'est parce que c'est scripté quoi. Le truc stylé c'est qu'on peut c'est de voler quoi, ça je trouve ça trop stylé. Tiens, petite décale. Ça c'est cool pour le coup. Tu peux entraîner. Pas mal. Pas mal du tout. Ok. Imbécile va. Ah, j'en ai oublié de voir. On dirait qu'il parle à son chien. Imbécile.
What did you expect? I'd never lose to that.
There's the tone of voice again. You're definitely back to your old self. Wait, but it was you inside that thing too!
Sorry. I'm harsh on myself and everyone else. Just the way... You sound like you're concerned about me. But don't worry. Thanks to you, even if I didn't change a thing, at least I now know the truth.
The memory recovery seems to have been a success. This dream has served its purpose.
Come on. Let's continue.
Du coup là il est devenu gentil. Quitter le souvenir. Oh on n'a pas de coffre et c'est quoi cette arnaque là? Ok. D'habitude il y a des coffres.
Welcome back, traveler. Paimon, balladeer.
Ah, maintenant il s'appelle Scaramouche.
You don't like being addressed by that name?
It's fine. But I was just thinking, I should after learning about everything the doctor did, there's no way I can carry on using a name connected to him. I'm not planning on returning to the Fatui, and they wouldn't take me back anyway. Recent events will have affected a lot of people. And
So, you're quitting the Fatui for good?
It's like you said, Lesser Lord Kusanali. Everything may look futile, but it wasn't completely meaningless.
But that doesn't mean your own past has disappeared.
Of course.
And your main goal, for which you gave up everything you had, you weren't able to achieve it. I hope you can changing the world, changing the past, changing the fates of other people.
C'est beau ce qu'elle dit,
c'est
c'est beau.
simple things to accomplish. What you were looking for is complete annihilation. But this is just a fantasy.
Il a repris sa couleur.
Even if the balladeer is removed from existence,
Ah, il fait ce qu'il veut en fait.
the world will not heed your will.
Indeed. How ridiculous.
Do you regret doing all that when you've gotten so little in return?
Even if I'm completely worthless, there's nothing in the world worth regretting. Lesser Lord Kusanali, you purposely left that information in Irminsul.
Yes, and I took pains to make sure that you'd acquire that information naturally.
Why would you go to such lengths? You trying to win me over too?
In all honesty, your past experiences have made you a useful asset to Sumeru and to me. Winning you over was indeed a part of my plan. But before that, I wanted to tell you the truth about your past. If all I wanted to do was use you, then I'd be no different from the doctor.
Very clever.
I guess you could say that's one of my virtues.
Utility to others is what gives me worth. So if embracing my sins is what it takes to make me useful again, so be— Oh right, I almost forgot. You're the good guys. You're into justice and all that.
Ah oui, il veut pas être
Sorry if I
arrêté.
have a slightly different perspective on things, but I don't feel like I've been duped. The wisest leaders are fated to end up with the best.
I'm glad you're able to think of it in that, Traveler. In the future, I'll continue to search Irminsul, including the beginning of your twins' journey recorded in Irminsul. What exactly happened before and after that point? I will try.
C'est sympa.
Traveler.
Oui?
After I dove into the information torrent in Irminsul, why did you go to Inazuma? So that's how you found out whose fate had changed. And how? Well, whatever your reasons, you did me a favor. And I'll do everything I can to pay it back. Borrowing and returning are the only real relationships between individuals. I'll balance the books one day.
Chaque fois, ils veulent m'aider en retour, mais ils peuvent pas, parce qu'il faut retrouver ma sœur pour m'aider, c'est tout.
A relationship between two people is not simply a ledger that can be reset to zero. I think deep down you realize this. People who show up in your life don't just evaporate like water drops and leave nothing behind. Some things in this world can never be brought back, and they can never be changed, which is why there is emotion in the human world. Everything that you feel is real and lasting, and whatever is missing in you will not to be human is to live with imperfections. You can choose whether or not you want to be human.
But humans can't live without a heart, can they? Anyway, I gave up trying to become human a long time ago.
You understand what pain is perfectly well, even without a heart. You're just bearing the past is set in stone, but you can keep moving on. And the longer your future lasts, the shorter your past will become, until one day, it is but a tiny fraction of—
Sounds like you've got a future planned out for me.
Everything's ended up being pretty darn complicated. Paimon doesn't even know where to start, but...
Ok, il s'en va. Qu'est-ce qu'il fait?
Then I guess I'll be helping you from behind the scenes from now on.
Ah, ok.
I'm glad that you've accepted our proposal. Why don't you choose a new name to celebrate?
Putain.
Paimon wants to pick an ugly
Comment il va s'appeler?
Why?
Because Paimon still doesn't like you that much.
Oh là, pas gentil.
Then I hope we don't see much of each other in the future.
Si,
A
vas-y,
name
je
is
l'aime bien.
life's first gift. You didn't say it out loud, but I know that's what you're thinking. The Traveler and Paimon have helped you a lot. If you can't decide on a new name, maybe you can ask them for ideas.
C'est nous qui te vendons, c'est notre gosse.
No, Paimon only does nicknames. If it's a serious name you're after, it's all yours.
Comment on va l'appeler?
Have you got anything?
Règle et explication pour attribuer de noms. Règle pour l'attribution de noms. La quête d'archon Intermède et l'objet plume vous permettront de renommer le personnage Nomade. Mais what? Veuillez prendre note que certains noms ne peuvent pas être utilisés. Nanana. Illimité. Veuillez vous assurer que vous respectez les termes de notre accord, machin, truc. Quoi? On peut... Non. Mais non, trop c'est... Ah non, je vais pas l'appeler Nomade quand même. Mais moi j'aimais bien Scaramouche. Scaramouche Blue. Scaramouche Blue. Comment s'écrivait Scaramouche Blue? Merde. Scaramouche Blue, bah voilà, comme ça c'est bien. Attends, on va mettre qu'un R. C'est moche comme ça. Scaramouche Blue. Parce que je sais plus comment on écrit Scaramuccia. Attendez, je vais regarder sinon. Ce serait dommage de... Alors attendez. Scaramoucia. Je sais pas, putain, j'arrive pas à le trouver. Ouais, mais tout le monde l'appelle Scaramouche. Ah voilà, Scaramouche. Ah bah j'étais pas mal, hein. Ah oui, non, qu'est-ce pas du tout comme ça. Scaramouche. Scaramouche. Blue. Ça marche comme ça? Scaramouche et blue. Comment on dit bleu en bon comme ça? Pour le moment, on va l'appeler comme ça, on peut rechanger, c'est cool. C'est cool, c'est rigolo. Tu es sûr? Bah écoute, oui. Ah, c'est nul en vrai, attends, c'est trop nul en vrai. C'est trop nul, mais ça sera comme ça pour le moment.
Alright, if you say so.
Il est deg. Ouais, il répond toujours pareil.
There. Now you have a name of.
What about a nickname?
Scaramouche Blue.
Done yet? Take your time. I don't need to see you again until everyone who manipulated me and made me suffer will have to pay the price.
You mean the Fatui?
The doctor, at least.
Now that your stance has changed, I believe your future path will change accordingly. But it won't be immediate. You still need some time to compose yourself.
One more thing. There are still some descendants of the Raiden Gokuden living in Inazuma. Some of them know. Well, they ought to know about the connection between Raiden Gokuden and myself. I don't plan to leave Sumeru for the time being. If you see them in Inazuma, please tell them that I was the one responsible for the Raiden Gokuden's downfall. Even though the events have been erased from the world, they still deserve to know the truth.
I see. That is up to you.
Il a fait son choice.
But...
It's fine. Let them stab their blades into my chest if they so desire. Maybe that's how it always should have been.
Mais non, t'inquiète.
No nonsense. I like it. All right, let's call it a day. Goodbye, wise deity. And you too.
He's gone.
Bye, Scaramouche Blue.
What he went through today would have been like living an entire lifetime in an instant. He'll need some time to calm down.
Yeah, true. But even so, after everything that's happened, he doesn't seem... So we can finally go eat? Paimon is starving.
C'est vrai, on va pouvoir les manger. Ça c'est cool. C'est la bonne nouvelle.
I hope you will find somewhere nice to go and relax for a while.
Ouais. Oula, c'est quoi, c'est qu'il y a une cinématique ou ça marche comment là? Pourquoi il y a un chargement aussi long? Ah non, il n'y a rien du tout. Ah, et leur roman, c'est vrai.
End my novel with some words from Mikoshi Nagamasa.
You mean because everyone else in the story is dead?
Yeah, I heard that Mikoshi Nagamasa died at a ripe old age. He's the perfect fit to be the narrator of the epilogue. The dark clouds had dissipated, but they continued to cast their shadow in Mikoshi Nagamasa's mind for decades to come. Then, one night, as an old man, he had a dream. On the night when that prized blade, the Daitatara all these expressions of joy melted down in the furnace fire and turned into red clouds that rallied around the final sunrise that Mikoshi Nagamasa saw. Life is a story too long to be told. A journey that you must walk to behold.
Il est là, Scaramouche Blue. Ce, quel bande de cons. Retourner à la zone de repos. Comment ça, la zone de repos? C'est quoi la zone de repos? C'est là-bas?
Faster? Okay, faster.
Ah mais attendez, il faut aller tout en bas là, non? Je suis perdu. C'est en allant ici. Putain, je me souviens plus de cette zone de repos. Rue des Trésors. Oh, on est tranquille ici au moins. Ah mais c'est chez nous en fait, non? Tout simplement. Je suis con. Ah mais on n'a rien à manger, Paimon.
As soon as you stop, all the tiredness and hunger comes rushing back. Wow, huh? Look at the vase.
Ah oui, c'est vrai qu'il était tombé.
Someone break it while they were cleaning the room or something? But Paimon doesn't remember there being a cleaner.
Bah oui. Qu'est-ce qu'a dit Paimon?
You sound lost and confused.
Oula, c'est qui ça?
I know why you are troubled. Any who knew of this would find their mind overwhelmed.
Huh? Is there someone here talking to us?
C'est sa sœur, sa sœur.
Unfortunately, the fate of Tevat cannot easily be changed. Perhaps a god may have a slim chance. When a small animal runs into a tree trunk, though the tree may sway, it is not displaced. Like a vase that falls to the ground. Whether it is broken by a cat or by a bird, the result is still a broken vase.
Who are you? How do you know?
History does not change easily, but human hearts can. Believe your own eyes. Only that which you
c'est quoi, c'est une illusion, c'est des
see is
illusions?
true.
Qu'est-ce qui est vrai, qu'est-ce qui est faux? Putain, on sait plus.
The voice has disappeared. And who the heck was that? And what were they doing coming out of nowhere and saying all that scary stuff? Anyway, that face is still lying there broken on the ground.
Ok, c'est cool.
Should Paimon go get someone to clean it up? It feels wrong just leaving it there. Just a moment. Paimon will be right back.
Ça roule. Putain, il va lui arriver un délire. Imaginez, on perd Paimon. Oh, acte 3 terminé. Genèse inversée. Bon, ça va, c'était cool. Alors, je suis désolé. Parce que je pense que le début de la vidéo, genre, y a moyen que je m'endormais, en vrai. Parce que, les gars, j'ai fait une nuit blanche et tout pour rattraper mon retard. Pour être à jour aujourd'hui. Et j'avoue que j'étais crevé tout à l'heure. Et les dialogues étaient longs, quoi, au début. Donc, je pense que je m'endormais, ouais, en vrai je m'endormais un peu quoi. Donc bon, mais par contre après c'était cool avec Scaramouche qui est devenu gentil, tout ça. La version bleue. C'est cool, c'est cool, c'est cool. Maintenant je sais pas où il est dans la nature. Et là voilà, on se fait interpeller par une voix. Qui nous dit des trucs, voilà. Donc non, en vrai c'était pas mal, c'était pas mal. En vrai, j'ai préféré je pense cette quête. Attends, je peux le casser ça? Je crois que ça avait bougé. J'ai préféré cette quête au chapitre 3 là, que j'ai enchaîné là, de l'acte 1 à l'acte 5, qui était méga long pour rien du tout, je trouve. Il y avait trop de dialogue, trop de trucs. Et voilà. Mais là au moins c'était simple, efficace. Donc c'était cool. Voilà, n'hésitez pas à me dire ce que vous en avez pensé, vous. Et puis on se voit une prochaine fois. Bye bye tout le monde. Des bisous.